Hello, folks. It's here, Scotty. Hey, we're going to talk today a little bit about the ATF. We know that there's been some policy changes and zero tolerance policies by the Biden administration. Now, why this changes per administration is beyond me, and how an agency can change meanings due to a policy shift of an administration is beyond me. So maybe I'll consult an attorney and get some more information and get back with you all. I don't have all the answers, that's for sure, but it kind of doesn't sit well with me. But anyway, the ATF, as we know, have been going around denying FFL license to companies. You've got about 88 companies so far this year that has just surrendered their licenses because they don't want to fight the ATF. They don't want to fight the man, right? Well, I take issue with that as well, because if you won't fight the government who uses our tax money to prosecute law-abiding citizens, then I have a problem, right? Human error and paperwork is human error, right? To have a zero tolerance on that, how would you like the citizens' government to have a zero tolerance on you guys when we catch you lying and we have zero tolerance, right? You guys work for us. We don't work for you. That's how this is supposed to work. So you come in and take people's livelihoods away, we start having issues. But anyway, the ATF went and raided it. I think it's Kiloton Tactical down in Florida. Kiloton Tactical wasn't having any part of it. And in that raid, the ATF seized a bunch of 4473s and took them off site. And a bunch of other records were taken off site. That in itself is a violation of federal law. So the ATF came and returned this paperwork, but this case has been dragging on. Now, the GOA got involved with this case, and it seemed like once the ATF knew that this case was going to be a no-win situation for them, then what they did is they issued a license to this FFL, which rendered this case moot, which is a good move on the ATF's part, but kind of shady if you ask me. If you think you have a lawful case and you're going after somebody and then you just drop it out of thin air after they spend all this money on attorneys, you should have to pay for the attorneys because you brought the suit. Any government official that brings suit against law-abiding citizens should have to pay for the attorney fees. Not vice versa, but the government, right? The government uses our money, the taxpayers' money, to come after taxpayers. So they should, if they drop a case, they should have to pay for the taxpayer's attorney. That's just my thought on the issue. But anyway, the ATF drops the case, issues the license. That way it's moot. I think if a lot of the other FFLs who didn't just surrender their license joined in this fight, you'd see a different outcome. They wouldn't have been able to just drop this as moot because there would be too many injured parties, and the courts would have to decide, which would put the ATF in a sticky situation because there'd be a ruling, right? Because the ATF loves to just live in this gray area. They don't like it when things are defined. So when Congress and whoever defines what something is, then the ATF is bound to live by that definition. They do not want things defined. They want it as gray as possible. That's how they prosecute law-abiding citizens. It's no different than CRS firearms, right? This man went to the ATF, asked him if what he was doing was legal. Before he did it, they said yes, and then the government prosecutes him, right? Arrests him, saying what he did was illegal. I take issue with that. If you do your due diligence and ask the government, hey, is this the right thing to an authority? Because they say the ATF is an authority on these issues, then they should be bound by those answers, right? It's no different than the pistol brace rule. They wrote letters saying, yes, the pistol brace on an AR pistol is lawful, right? Because of its intended purpose and function. So how they went back behind that is a whole different scenario. Man, it really bothers me as law-abiding citizens that we get caught up in this crap, but it's bureaucracy, and things should be well defined, right? You know, if you run a red light and get caught, you're going to get a ticket, right? It's well defined. You run a red light, you get a ticket. This shouldn't be any different. right, with firearms. It should be well defined where any reasonable person at any level of intelligence could understand it. So anyway, that's my 2 cents for today. Hope you guys are having a great week. Keep on the good fight. If you guys have anything you want to see, make sure you leave a comment and let me know. We appreciate you. Thank you.